What's going on, geeks and gamers? This is Ryan with Outpost. Today I'm coming to you with some more expanded universe stories. Now, mostly on this channel, we've focused mainly on post-Return of the Jedi era. But obviously, in this huge universe we have, spanning from 25,000 years before to 140 years after the Battle of Yavin, there's a lot more that we can talk about. Today I want to focus on a story from about 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, when Sith and Jedi battles rage across the galaxy. In Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, we hear Yoda explain that always two there are, no more, no less, a master and an apprentice. But if you've played any popular games like Knights of the Old Republic 1 or 2, or Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO, you know that that wasn't always the case. For a long time, the number of Sith in the galaxy rivaled that of the Jedi, and they had multiple failed incursions to try to take over the galaxy from the Jedi and the Republic. But at this point, around 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, in order to stop the constant infighting that always seemed to be distracting and weakening the Sith, Lord Khan created the Brotherhood of Darkness, one in which all members of the Sith were considered equals to attempt to stop the infighting that they had always struggled with. But one man, powerful in the dark side, saw the weakness in this plan, and was set out to change the course of history for the Sith and the galaxy. This man would come to be known as Darth Bane. Born with the name Dessel on the mining world of Apatros, his early life was a miserable one. Inheriting his drunken and abusive father's debt and working slave wages in the mines, Dessel worked every day to try to earn his freedom. A beast of a man, with an enormous frame aided by hours working the mines, Dessel often had inklings of what would happen just before it did. A series of events led to him being ambushed by visiting Republic soldiers who were upset about losing a game of sabacc to Dessel. His instincts took over, and he killed one of his attackers with ease. Knowing he would now be considered a fugitive from the Republic, he took the only option available to him and joined the dangerous ranks of the Sith army. Quickly rising up the ranks of the military, his unit became recognized for their performance. Catching the attention of a Dark Lord of the Sith, who recognized his incredible potential in the Force, he was taken to the Sith Academy on Korriban, where he shed his old identity and took on the new name of Bane. Bane became obsessed with learning everything he could about the power of the dark side. But not just from the masters of the Brotherhood of Darkness, but from the ancient forgotten texts of long-dead Sith Lords. Quickly learning and impressing all with his power, he soon challenged a top student to a duel. After soundly defeating his enemy, Bane succumbed to the full temptation and power of the dark side, killing the student, something that was forbidden in this new age of Sith. Rattled by that pure power that he displayed, it left Bane scared of what he could do, and he had difficulty immersing himself fully in the dark side. Soon scorned by those who had praised him so recently, he became distrustful of the Master's teachings, and he poured himself more deeply into the ancient texts. Realizing the Brotherhood of Darkness had been wrong to dilute the power of the dark side, he realized they were just a mirror of the rigidness of the hated Jedi. Coming to this realization, Bane purged his inner demons and began progressing unlike any other student, defying the teachings of the Order, proclaiming himself Darth Bane, a title laid down by the Order long before. As the Brotherhood went to meet the Jedi Army of Light on the planet of Ruusan, Darth Bane sought out the knowledge of a man whose name rang in the halls of both Sith and Jedi history, Darth Revan. With the help of Revan's holocron, Bane was convinced that the only way to eventually destroy the Republic and the Jedi would be through subterfuge and patience. He had come to the realization that only one should be allowed to be the master of the dark side, with one student. This left one to embody the power of the dark side and the other to crave it, eventually overtaking the master. Bane soon devised how he would solve the problem of these fake, diluted Brotherhood of Darkness. Surviving multiple assassination attempts, he headed to Ruusan. Bane demonstrated to all the other Lords of the Sith his mastery in the Force, and he manipulated them into performing a ritual called a thought bomb that would go on to destroy all of the Sith, as well as numerous Jedi. The Jedi were convinced that every living Sith master had perished, and that the threat was gone from the galaxy for good. On his way off the planet, satisfied that he had successfully duped the Jedi and paved the way for his new Sith Order, Bane encountered a young girl, strong in the Force and willing to learn. He felt that she had the potential to surpass even him someday. This girl would become his apprentice, Darth Zana, solidifying this new Sith rule of two. Over the next few decades, Bane and Zana continued to rediscover long-lost teachings and techniques in the Force. Bane, for years, had been protected by creatures known as Orbalisks, parasitic beasts who fed on his dark side power, but gave him strength and protection in return. Carefully manipulating events to keep the Jedi and the Republic preoccupied, they managed to stay hidden for some time, until a mistake by Zana led to 5 Jedi investigating and discovering their whereabouts. Although outnumbered, the Jedi were no match for the overpowering fighting style of Bane and the rare Sith sorcery that Zana wielded. But a blast of Sith lightning was deflected back onto Bane, killing the Orbalisks that had protected him for so long. Clinging to life, Zana got him medical help because she had not yet learned all that she needed to know in order to succeed her master. Barely escaping destruction, finally free of the Orbalisks, Bane continued his research into dark side techniques. He was now beginning to question whether Zana was the correct choice. He realized this was a flaw in his rule of two. If he wasted all the years of his life training the wrong apprentice, she had not yet made the necessary moves to confront her master for the title Dark Lord of the Sith. By not challenging him while he was at the height of his powers and instead waiting until it began to wane, that would not be the true rule of two that he had envisioned. He began searching for another plan, one to help extend his life, and discovered the process of essence transfer to keep his consciousness alive in the body of another. But even as his faith in his apprentice had waned, she struck out, waiting for the perfect moment to challenge him. The two fought ferociously in the long-awaited and necessary combat, realizing that there would be no mercy, as that is not the Sith way. The seemingly even-pitched battle raged, with Zana eventually gaining the upper hand. But at the last second, Bane unleashed his final surprise, the essence transfer ritual. It was a battle of wills in the metaphysical. As Bane and Zana pushed against each other, the fate of the Sith and possibly the galaxy in the balance. At the end, it was Zana who was left standing, though she could tell a small bit of her master remained within her. Nearly a millennia later, after watching and waiting as he had instructed, Darth Bane's rule of two would be validated, with Darth Sidious decimating the Jedi Order and establishing the Galactic Empire. This is one of the things I love so much about the Star Wars Expanded Universe, that in the galaxy so vast, and in a timeline that spreads 25,000 years, we still have characters like Darth Bane, who, although his actions took place a millennia before what we see in the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, his legacy leaves a lasting impression on what happens in the fate of the galaxy. And although Bane is evil, he's not just evil for evil's sake. He's the protagonist of the stories, and you're actively rooting for him. It's just one of the many examples from the expanded universe where we have villains who, one, are relatable, and two, actually matter in the grand scheme of things. They're not just throwaway villains. You understand his goals and his intentions, even if you don't agree with his methods or the outcome. These are the type of stories I still wish we were getting from Disney Lucasfilm, not like the villains we have been getting from them. But what do you guys think? Had you heard of the story of Darth Bane before? Are you interested in knowing more? Do you wish that Disney Lucasfilm would still be producing this type of expanded universe content? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.